Alright, hello everyone, it's Team Rocket Draws here with another Pokemon drawing tutorial. And for this video guys, we're going to be drawing Galarian Rapidash. So as you guys can see on screen, this is how it ends up looking like. So if you guys want to learn how to draw it, then let's get started. I'm also going to put up a reference right now on screen, that way it's easier for you guys to draw. And at the same time, you guys to get all your details. Just keep in mind guys that we are going to start by doing a sketch, and then from there on you guys are going to do your final drawing. So remember to do your lines light. Alright guys, so first of all, we're going to start by doing some simple shapes. We're gonna start out by doing a circle, and just try to do your best at making this circle guys, just because we're gonna base this off everything. So as long as you guys get it as close as you can to a perfect circle, the better it is. So once we have that, we're gonna split it in half both ways. This is just to help us place the eye. Now we're gonna start by doing the neck. So as you guys can see right there, the length of the neck is a little bit longer than the actual circle, and then once we have that, we're gonna place this circle right there for the actual chest. Alright guys, so now for the actual snout, just look at, pay attention where it starts, just by using those middle lines in the circle. The ear goes around there, and now we can start by doing the body right here, and then as well as the hind leg right there. So I do a reference line right there, just showing you guys basically how long the hind leg is, and then we go ahead and do the horn. Now for the actual legs guys, so the leg is around the length of the circle for the head, and then I do a reference line right there just to help us place the other ones. And then you guys notice right there, it ended up being really thin, so then I extended a little bit. So just try to make all these legs guys the same thickness at the bottom. Obviously they start off a little bit thicker and then they end a little bit thinner, so just try to make them all the same thickness roughly. So now that we have that, we're gonna extend the leg a little bit longer. So the bottom half of the leg is a little bit longer than the top half, and then I do a reference line just to once again help us know where to place all of them. Now this one's gonna be the same as the second one, although I do it a little bit lower right there. I do fix that, I believe. Yeah, right here I realized, I'm like, wait, that one's a little bit longer, so let's fix that. And now for the fourth leg right here, is gonna go up to the line right there that we did for the hoof, like the top of the hoof for the first two legs. And now for the third leg, I realized that it's basically half of the fourth one, so I do a reference line right there since it is like further away from us. So that's why I ended up doing that guys. So probably this is gonna be one of the hardest things, is just working on the legs, but once we have that, now we could go up here for the eye. Let's just use those reference lines that we did by splitting the circle in half. This is just obviously helps us know where to place the eye. Once we have that, we could work on the snout. And the snout, I do work on it later on guys. This is once again a sketch, so if you guys don't do it like perfect right now, it's alright, we could always change it later on. And now once we have that, let's start off by doing the little hair on the horn. So it's basically just like this oval shape that goes around the horn, and then it has this little two pieces of hair that stick out. So once we have that, we could just erase that right there, just round out the bottom of the horn. And now we can start working on the hair once we have the body guys. So everything from here on is gonna be a lot easier. We're just gonna use basically the shapes that we have now to place everything. Alright, so I know it starts around there, it ends around there, connects around there to the circle that we did for the chest area. And right here is just all about comparing guys, just knowing like where it starts, where it ends. So just make sure that you guys start it off. Obviously for everybody it's gonna be different, because depending on how you guys do it, but just roughly start it in the same areas. Alright, so I realized that the hair starts around there in the middle of the top half of the leg right there for that circle, the like circle shape for the hair. Now for the top right here, it starts like around there where the horn connects to the top of the head, and so on. So this is all just placing it guys, roughly right there. There's the shape right there in the hind leg. You guys can use the reference to get a better idea. Now for the top right here, it connects around there. So just try to round out the hair as much as possible, because if you guys look at the reference, it's really poofy. Like all the hair is really poofy. It's like a lot of hair, right? Alright, so this is probably one of the hardest parts for Galarian Ponyta, is just doing I don't know what this is, I don't know if it's hair or whatnot right here for the actual legs. So I realized that one starts around there, and it kind of covers the other hind leg. And even though that it does cover it, we still had to draw it guys, just so we could like place it in the right spot, if you guys like get what I mean. Like I wasn't gonna do like part of the leg and then do the like hair on the legs, just because we need to make it accurate. So that's why we have to do the legs and then just cover them. That way we know exactly where to place everything. Alright, so now for this one, this is where I realized that the fourth leg has a puff too. So I don't draw it right now, I do it later on. But right there I don't add one for the fourth leg. I don't know if you guys noticed right there. And then I fixed this one right here just because I didn't like how it looked. And now we're gonna continue the other one that starts around there, that connects to right there. And then obviously we could start by doing like splitting off. So right now what I split off is just the colors, the pink and the like what is it, like a blue, and then the pink again. So that's what I did right there. So I'm not doing those extra lines, like for example on the one that's covering his chest, like, or its chest. There's like a line going down the actual pink. I'm not doing those lines on the hair right now. I'm just doing the lines that split off, like the shapes that split the different colors. And once we have that, guys, right here, I started erasing some of those reference lines since we don't need them no more. We're basically finished with the sketch. Now we could just start by looking at the reference and just looking at basically what are the lines that are actually on the drawing. So this is a reason that I put up the reference right here. Just so you guys can get a better idea of how it is, just in case I do make a mistake or whatnot. So just erase all these reference lines, guys. We don't need them no more. So once again, use the reference just to know what lines to erase and what lines to keep. That's why I said earlier that we're gonna start by doing a sketch, just because it just helps us place everything, and once we have that, we could always just go back and erase everything. So once we start erasing some, this is where I realized that I missed that puff right there for the fourth leg. And yeah, so I draw it right there. And this is where the drawing just starts coming out, it just starts showing. Because before, like, you were able to see the drawing, but since there was like so many extra lines, it just like made it look a little bit different. But once you erase all those reference lines, it just like pops out, right? It's just like, it makes more sense, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So this is where we make any changes necessary, guys. For example, right there, the snout, I didn't like how it connected to the face. Obviously we did a circle for the head, so it was gonna look a little bit awkward. So then I fixed the snout, I fixed the forehead a little bit. So this is where you guys make your changes on your drawing. Just because I make some changes on mine doesn't mean that that's what you guys are supposed to do for your drawing. That just means that for my drawing, those are the changes that I felt necessary. Obviously you guys are doing a different drawing. Just because we're doing the same drawing doesn't mean that everybody's gonna like it's gonna end up the same. So just look at your drawing, don't pay attention to mine, guys. So right here I'm just adding those extra lines for the hair and whatnot, right? As well as for the horn right there. But this is the time to like look at your drawing, and if something doesn't look right, now's the time to change it. For example, let's say that you don't like the legs, then change them, you know, make them like the way that you guys want it. Look at the reference and then look at your drawing, and if your drawing doesn't look good with the changes like the reference, then go ahead and make different changes on yours. It doesn't have to look exactly like the reference, and it doesn't have to look exactly like mine. You know what I mean? Like, I made changes on my drawing that doesn't look like the reference. One of those changes, if you guys want to notice, is the legs. Like in the chest area, the first two legs, like on the reference, there's a bigger gap in between than the way I have it on my drawing. But if you guys didn't, if I probably didn't point that out, you guys probably wouldn't have noticed that. So as long as it looks good on my drawing, I'm gonna make those changes necessary, even though it doesn't look like the reference. And that's what I want you guys to do. Make your changes like the ones that your drawing needs. Doesn't have to look like mine, and it doesn't have to look like the reference. So I want you guys to remember that. Just make the changes necessary on your drawing. Alright, so to finish it off, one of the things that I like to do just to make it look a little bit cleaner is that I end up erasing the whole drawing, guys. And you guys are gonna say like, oh, you did all that and then you're gonna erase it. Yes, I did that, and I do that because even though I'm erasing it, I can still see those lines. I can still see some of the lines that are there. I can still see the drawing. It's easier to look at in person than it is on the video. On the video it's like really light, but I'm able to see the lines where I did the sketch. So what does that do for me is that, one, I can still see the lines where I did them before, so I could go over them and redraw the drawing and just make it look a lot cleaner and make those changes necessary to make it look better. So you guys could either just, a lot of people, what they do is that they go over it with the pen, and then once it dries, don't try to erase pen when it's still wet, guys, because you're gonna ruin your drawing. But go over it with the pen or Sharpie or whatever you guys have, the way, whatever you guys want to do it, and then once it dries, erase it, and then you're gonna be left just with the outline, right? Like a clean outline. A lot of people, like personally myself, I like the way that the sketch looks like, so usually I leave my drawings as a sketch if I'm doing it just personally, not obviously not on the video. But once I have that, guys, it just looks a lot cleaner. Look at this, it looks a lot better. It doesn't look like the sketch, right? So right here I'm just making those changes necessary. I realized the neck looked a little bit weird, and yeah, so that's why I end up erasing my drawing, just because in the end it looks a lot cleaner. And after that, guys, this is the final outline. Obviously it looks a little bit better than it did in the sketch. It's the same sketch, right? It's the same as the sketch, but it just looks a lot cleaner. I did the lines a little bit better. Obviously I made some changes, but look at the gap in between the first two legs, guys, in the chest area. You see how mine is really thin compared to the reference? And I did that when I was drawing the first leg. If you guys didn't realize, I did it really thin and it didn't make sense. So obviously I had to change it to make it work on my drawing. So that's one of those changes that, yeah, that I wanted to kind of mention. So I want you guys to do your drawing your way. It doesn't have to be the same. Alright, so obviously I start coloring it. I use my Copic markers, and I didn't have the right colors for Galarian Rapidash, to be honest. I ended up using this purple, but it was just a lot darker than what it is, right? The purple is really light. It's like a magenta, really light magenta. And then I used the blue, like a mint color blue, but it didn't end up looking on the paper as it did on the pen. If you guys look at the actual Copic's pen, it's a lot lighter. It looks more closer to the reference, the blue minty color on the reference, than it does when I actually put it on paper. So that was my mistake, because I didn't like do it ahead of time where I tested it. I just kind of just like, oh, that's the closest color to it, and then when I went ahead, it kind of looked more green than anything. But it is what it is, you know. Obviously I tried. I'm not the best at coloring, guys. I'm still trying, and I'm gonna make mistakes, and I'm gonna point them out for you guys. But in the end, guys, I was pretty happy with the actual outcome of Galarian Rapidash. Hopefully I didn't call a Galarian Rapidash Ponyta throughout the video, because I'm pretty sure you guys are gonna comment below. But in the end, I think it came out pretty good. I just used a really light gray for the shadows, for example, in the stomach area, although on the video you can't really see it. Also, like on the third leg, I added the shadow right there, but it's really light, so you guys are not able to really see it, as well as the neck area. And for the eye was really simple, just because it's the same color. So there's only three colors to Galarian Rapidash. You got the mint color blue, you got the light purple, and then you got the dark purple for the horn and the hoofs. I don't know if that's what they're called, but I'm gonna call them hoofs, guys, sorry. And overall, like, I was scared on doing Galarian Rapidash for the simple fact that I didn't want to make it look awkward. Like, I didn't want, you know, like the length of the neck, the length of the legs, the shape of the body. Like, it's really easy to make it look really weird, just because it's just one of those things. It's kind of like just animals in general, like anything that has 4 legs, like dogs, cats, or whatever. It's really like easy to mess them up, you know, just because you could either do the neck too long. It's kind of like Charizard. When I was drawing Charizard, like, I didn't want to make the neck too long, the head too small compared to the body. So it's just one of those things that's a little you know. And if you guys make those mistakes, you guys could always start all over and just, you know, work on them. That's why we do the shapes at the beginning. We do the circles, we do the shapes, basically the rough shapes, just because that's where you'll notice if it's not gonna look right. So if it right there you start noticing, oh, the legs are too long compared to the body, then that's where you need to make those changes. So that's why I like starting off my videos or my drawings with sketches, just because it's easier to notice that. But that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Hopefully I was able to help you guys out. Let me know in the comment section below how it ended up coming out. Remember, you guys could always send in your drawings to be featured at the beginning of my videos. And I think that's gonna be it. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more videos, and I guess I'll just catch you guys on the next one. Team Rocket Draws out.